Good morning, great Americans. It's another great American video. Yesterday was Trump's 100 day. He had a rally, a great rally. And listen, I, you know, it is just astounding. Uh, some of the stupidity and the things that I'm seeing on social media are just absolutely amazing about Trump's first 100 days. And it's amazing how people it has really gotten to the point to where fake news and even people who know better are just lying through their teeth anything to destroy Trump, even though he is fixing America and he's making America great again. They simply want to destroy Trump because he's Trump. They can't even give you a good reason anymore. All their stuff about Trump being a Nazi and this and that all went down the toilet when he won the election. Now they just hate Trump for this. They truly have Trump derangement syndrome. They hate Trump for no other reason than his name is Trump. And they are willing to destroy America just to get at Trump. It is quite disgusting. It is quite disgusting. So a couple of important points here, and I'm going to try and keep this short. First of all, I tweeted a tweet. And basically, I said, here's what I said. Oh, I'm sorry, X. It's not tweetable. Basically, here's what I said. And this is something to remember. Poll numbers coming up. They're up, they're down. They're up, they're down. It's like the stock market. Whenever there's a one-day anomaly in the stock market, you ignore that. The only thing that matters in the stock market are long-term trends, right? When you see like stocks going down, 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 down for like a couple of weeks, now you know something's going on. When you see an anomaly blip, it means nothing. It's down one day, it's up the next. Polls are down one day, and not to mention the fact that polls these days are so dishonest, and a lot of them are put out fake news, and you can't even really trust them anyway. But anyway, polls come and go, but accomplishments are here to stay. So if you're going to judge Trump's first 100 days, don't start yelling about the polls because that's what the leftists are going. Oh, look at his poll numbers in the first 100 days. What a failure! The poll numbers is going to change. That's not. That's just like a little feather floating in the wind and floating away. Dust in the wind, like that song. That means nothing. The question is, what has he accomplished in his first 100 days? That is what makes Trump the greatest president in history. He has accomplished more in 100 days than Biden could have ever dreamed of in his entire term. And he's keeping his promises, unlike Biden and Obama that lied through their teeth and lied about everything just to get elected. Trump is keeping his promises, and even Trump's worst enemy has to say, yeah, he's doing exactly what he said he'd do, right? So that's important. So, and now let's move on to the one thing that's giving everybody the jitters. So, first of all, I have a few videos called "Stay the Course." That is the theme. Stay the course. Trump is keeping his word. It's all working. Just for the love of God, don't get wobbly kneed and scared and nervous and blah blah blah. Stay the course. That's the theme. You're gonna hear me say that in every video. Stay the course. Stay with Trump. Stand with Trump. And when the midterm elections come up, stand with Trump and stand with who he picks. In 2028, when we choose a new president, I'm happy to vote for Trump again because he didn't get to serve. Remember, he was cheated, and he didn't get to serve 2 terms in a row because of a stolen election. But even if he doesn't serve a second consecutive term, whoever he backs, stand with Trump, stand with MAGA. So stay the course is the theme. Anyway, here's what's making everybody nervous: is the stupid tariffs. I, I am getting so sick and tired of the ignorance and stupidity that we hear up and down the scale about tariffs. The tariffs will work. Look, do you plant seeds in a garden and then go out the very next day and expect to see a whole garden? I mean, how stupid is that? But that's what people are expecting. He just started, like he's only been there for 3 months. He just started the tariff regime. A lot of it has worked. A lot of people are coming to the table. See, that's the part they're ignoring. The people who are saying the tariffs are causing problems are ignoring all the successes of the tariffs. Even though he just planted the seeds and they haven't even had a chance to grow yet, they are still, some of them have grown amazingly overnight. And some people have come to the table. But see, people are ignoring that part. But anyway, uh, listen, Trump made this expressly clear at the very beginning. Apparently, nobody was paying attention. But basically, what he said was he emphasized at the beginning, he emphasized short term challenges for long term gains. Now, let me repeat that phrase: short term challenges for long term gains. What does that mean? That means that the tariff regime is going to present little bitty problems here and there in the short term, right? Because it's a whole new thing. Trump is tearing down the deep state. He's tearing down the globalists. He's putting in America first and save America. And that causes an uproar. And yeah, there might be some downsides here and there at the beginning, but the long-term win is going to make America so powerful and so, again, stay the course. Let Trump do his thing, for the love of God. Stay the course. The tariffs will work in the long run if everybody supports them and if businesses play along with the game. Look, if you're a business and you know, let's say you're a businessman and you know that there's a product that we buy from China, and let's say everybody's complaining because the price is high. I don't know, pick a product. Anyway, maybe you should start manufacturing that product here. You see what I'm trying to say? Think in the long term. It's like, okay, what is getting expensive here? And instead of crying about it and complaining about it, find a way to manufacture it here, and then it's a win, right? Then you got new American business, new American jobs, more money staying in America, less money going to China. That's the whole point. Well, that's one of the points. That's one of the long-term expectations from tariffs. All right. So, and here's just a couple of points I wrote down. I'm going to I wrote too much, so I'm just going to try and skim over it. As I just said, tariffs work because they encourage domestic manufacturing and job creation, right? Tariffs increase the cost of imported goods, making domestically produced products more competitive. So hopefully people, instead of people crying and complaining, they will join in the war effort and seek out products made in America, and then eventually give it a little time and the whole thing starts to shit. Oh, excuse me. They also work because they address trade imbalances and unfair practices. You people seem to be forgetting. All you people who are crying and moaning about tariffs, these are reciprocal tariffs that Trump is doing. All he's doing is doing to other countries the same exact thing they've been doing to us. What? I mean, if you got a problem with that, then you're like a woman who gets beat up by her husband and says, "Yeah, please beat me up some more." One of those, like, those crazy movies where some brute sort of husband just constantly slaps his wife around, slaps her up, gives her black eyes, beats her up, and she keeps saying, and she keeps acting like his slave and saying she loves him. How insane is that? That's what you are if you are angry about the tariffs, because you've been getting bitch slapped by other countries for years, and you're okay with it. And now that Trump is giving back what they give us, you're crying about it. Oh, come on, man. Show some fucking. God, I can't even go there. Okay. Number 30. I'm going skimming down my notes. Generating government revenue. So look, man, we got a deficit, and tariffs bring in money, and they may even be a way to reduce our income tax. So that would be great. See, These are all the extra things that are not being taken into account. The only thing that idiots like the guy at, and by the way, I just canceled my Amazon subscription for that bullshit that left-wing piece of shit who owns Amazon is trying to pull. Did you hear what he's trying to do? He's trying to, on everything that Amazon sells, he's trying to put a little thing under it that said the tariffs have caused it to go up by this much. It's all politics. He's trying to. That's fucked up, man. See, I don't, by the way, did they put a little thing under every price to explain why Biden inflation caused prices to go up for 4 years? I don't remember him doing that. But he wants to do it with tariffs, which is a lie, because that's only a tiny piece of the puzzle. All right. It doesn't take into account onto all these other things that the tariffs achieve. Again, like I said, generating government revenue, which helps close up the deficit and the debt, and may even eventually result in more lower income taxes for you and me. Again, like I said, these things take time. Pressuring foreign nations to negotiate. I already covered that earlier. There's a lot of countries have already come to the table. The fake news media, they're just ignoring that. They're ignoring the successes, right? But what else did I put down? Why tariffs need time to work? Economic adjustments and supply chain shifts. So tariffs do disrupt established global supply chains, but companies need time to relocate manufacturing or source materials domestically. Okay, so another reason why it takes a little time. Market and consumer adaptation. Tariffs often lead to higher prices because, obviously it gets passed on to computer. And that initially causes economic disruption. As I said, short-term challenges. Over time, though, as domestic production ramps up or consumers shift to U.S.-made alternatives, price pressures will ease. Well, I sort of already covered that one too, so I had doubled up on that one. Sorry about that. So, anywho, as I said, tariffs require time to succeed due to the need of these supply chain adjustments, market adaptations, trade negotiations. See, the tariffs are there while the negotiations are going on. So you got to see these things all depend on each other. So let that go on while that's there, and just stay the course. Stay the course. So they require time for that. And so, as I said, remember the phrase, endure the short-term challenges for the long-term gains. Look, this is a war, man. This is a war in many ways. It's sort of like a war. You know what? Let me tell you something a lot of you people don't know because you weren't even alive. In World War II, even Tom Brokaw, as much of a dunce as he is, he wrote a book called The Greatest Generation. And it was mostly, for the most part, it was about how that generation rose up to fight World War II. And nobody alive today, none of you little pussies and left-wing whiners have any clue how every American had to chip in and sacrifice to win World War II. See, these days we just fight wars and nobody even knows about it. We're spending money. We're going in debt. We got smart weapons doing this, and nobody makes a sacrifice. Nobody gives a shit. Back in World War II, people sacrificed for the war effort. Did you know that just little things like during World War II, there were food stamps and stamps for meat, and you were only allocated a little bit of meat every week because the food was used for setting out to military and supplying the war. This is a global war, right? And did you know that not one new car was built while we were at war? Think about that. Think about how every year you see cars, you drive in that part of town where you see the car dealerships and all the cars on the lots. Imagine years going by and not seeing one new car. Can you imagine it? Because we took over every single factory to build tanks and planes and guns and jeeps and helmets, everything for the war effort. There used to be collections at the end of your street. If you lived in a city, right, they would have collections like my mom told me about how down at the end of the street she lived on, they would do collections where everyone would bring old pots and pans and stuff made of metal and everything, and it would all get piled up in this giant pile, and they would come and take it away for the war effort. Can you imagine putting in that type of sacrifice? Oh, and gas rationing too. Oh, yeah, because the fuel was definitely needed for the war effort. So you had gas rationing, food stamps, collecting just stuff for war, clothing and metal to be used for bullets and all that kind of stuff. We don't know what that's like. Not one American alive today, unless you're a World War II survivor, not one American today understands what that's really like. Not one American today truly understands what it means to sacrifice to see your country win and come out on top. My suggestion to all you crybabies and whiners who are all pissing your pants is to grow a set of balls, shut the fuck up, and do your part to make it work. It will work as long as it gets your support. You know, for once in your pathetic lives, why don't you help out instead of complaining? And I'm talking to the people who are crying and pissing about the tariffs. You know, why don't you stand up and help instead of sitting on your ass crying about your pronouns and your rainbow flags and all that disgusting degenerate shit? And why don't you do something fucking worthwhile? Oh, people make me really sick and angry, man. You really do. People who are anti-Trump and you're suffering from TDS, it's done. All right. It's time for you to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up, because we're all tired of your crying and your whining. Nobody cares about your pride flag. Nobody gives a shit about your pronouns. Nobody gives a frig about Palestine. There is no Palestine, you stupid morons. Okay, the adults are in charge now, and we're trying to fix what you broke. So if you don't want to help out, that's fine. Then just sit down and shut the hell up. How does that sound? Yeah. So anyway, sorry. Yeah, I had to get that out, man. I mean, I'm just keeping it real, man. So anyway, back to what I said originally. 100 days, fuck the poll numbers. They go up and down, and most of them are fake anyway. Accomplishments are what matter. And Trump has accomplished more than any president ever. And not only that, every accomplishment is a promise kept. Who else can say that about a president? Nobody. And especially Bush. I mean, are you Bushies out there? The more I think about Bush, the more I think about everything that Doge has uncovered and Trump has fixed, the more I think about Bush and how he just sat on it all and didn't do a damn thing. And yeah, I can't even stand those people. As far as I'm concerned, there hasn't really been a Republican president since Ronald Reagan and now Trump. And everything in between was crap. The Bushes, a bunch of fakes and phonies, man. They didn't do anything to help America. They didn't do any damn thing except get us into wars. Fuck Liz Cheney and fuck Dick Cheney and fuck the Bushes. How do you like that? Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry, I digress. Anyway, wrapping it up, first 100 days, fantastic. Major accomplishments, amazing number of accomplishments, promises kept. Stay the course. Do not get weak and wobbly. Stay the course. Stand with Trump. Stand with Trump in the next midterm elections coming up, and stand with the MAGA candidate for the next president, whoever that may be. Stay the course. MAGA, Trump will leave in 3.5 years, but MAGA must go forward. And you must stick with, I don't know how that all unfolds, but you got to stick with it. And finally, tariffs will work. Please click on the links that I'm going to put in the description of this video. Please like and share this video. And please like and share our other videos. We're trying to, I try to get the word out. Oh, I'm going to put a link. I almost forgot. This is a little side extra. I'm going to put a link to a little video. I had a great idea about the next State of the Union address and why it should be held in Independence Hall. How long has this video been going? Do I got time to I can't tell how long it's been going. Should I add it? Should I add it in there? No, I'll just put a link in. I'll put a link in. The next uh the next State of the Union address needs to be in Independence Hall, where we signed the Declaration of Independence. That's my message. If I could find a way to get that message to Trump, and I would explain why. Believe me, if I had a chance to explain why, that's what is in the little video. He would love it. It's a great. It kills multiple birds with one stone. Click the link. Anyway, like it. Well, just click all the links that I put in the description. Please like and share the video. Please sign up at our Substack page, and I will see you in the next great American video. Adios, muchachos.